Hello and welcome back to my channel where I talk about Japan and the JET program. So if either of those things interest you, then be sure to subscribe. So I've started to hear back from people who applied for the JET program in 2021 about their results. They seem to all be starting to come in now. If you haven't got yours already, then I'm sure it's coming soon. Be sure to comment below if you did get shortlisted. I want to personally congratulate you myself. But in this video, I'm going to be talking to those of you who were unfortunately not shortlisted this year and did not get the results that you were hoping for. So I'm going to be sharing my thoughts. I'm going to try and lift your spirits a bit, offer my advice on next steps. I'm going to be giving solid ideas and examples on how you can be working towards improving your application for reapplying next year. And I'm also going to explain to you why really this situation is potentially a blessing in disguise. So stay tuned for all of that. So first of all, quickly, I want to talk about those of you who were waitlisted alternates for the successful applicants who drop out later this year. And before you ask, I have no idea what the dropout rate is typically in any given year, and I think it's going to be especially unpredictable this year anyway because of the coronavirus, so I cannot answer that for you. But there is hope, there is a real possibility that you will still come this year, and I mean probably it was just a numbers game. I think the fact that JET waitlisted you shows that they do believe you were a qualified applicant, but unfortunately there's just so many qualified applicants and not that many spaces, so I think you were just unlucky this year. What I would say to you is act as if you're not going to go this year. Start thinking of plan B. Are you just going to reapply for JET next year, which I'll talk about later? Are you going to think of alternative ways to come to Japan? Start thinking about what's next if you don't get to come this year. So yeah, stay hopeful. Don't rely on that hope fully. I'm sure that all of you who were rejected this year are feeling really gutted right now, especially because I know how much time and effort that you put into those JET applications. So the first thing I want to say to you is, it's okay to be sad. Please remember that and take some time to be sad because that's important. Do what you need to do, eat a bunch of ice cream or junk food, have a wee cry, have a bunch of alone lazy days to yourself, crack open a bottle of wine, whatever you need to do it and just be sad, get it all out and then come back swinging even stronger for applying again next year. The same can possibly be said about being qualified but just unlucky for those of you who did not get waitlisted or accepted this year, but unfortunately there's no way to know for sure because JET does not offer feedback on your application. Potentially you just had a bad day in the interview, maybe you just didn't quite have the right or enough experience or anything else. We'll never know, unfortunately. One thing I've said before is that I really believe if someone wants this enough, if they want to come to Japan enough, they will find a way. If one rejection is enough to deter you from coming here, then I don't think you do want it enough, and if you do, then you will apply again next year. You will look at alternative ways to come to Japan, and I believe one day you will make it here. And you have so much time now to reflect on your rejected application, think about how you can improve it, what experience you can build up for next time, and so on. And I am going to get into very specific examples and ideas of how you can do that, so stay tuned for that. But first, I want to touch on something else. Maybe this rejection is a blessing in disguise. And let me tell you why. In Japan right now, there truly is no end in sight to this Panasonic, to this pandemic, to this, Miss Rona. Japan has only vaccinated less than 1% of the population so far. I don't know what it's like in your countries, but that is the situation in Japan at the time of this recording. So coming this year, I just don't think you're gonna get the full JET experience. And I mean, for those of you still watching who were accepted this year or who are alternates, you should still be excited. I'm sure you'll have a great time, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think you can get the full JET experience when all the social events are cancelled, a lot of stuff is closed, when you're just so discouraged from traveling. It's not gonna be the same. And additionally, I think all of the current ALTs with good placements, with urban placements, I don't think they're planning to leave this year because, well, it's so unpredictable back home right now and we have steady jobs, steady income here. So I think a lot of the 2021 applicants who got through, I think they're going to get really typically less desirable placements, really inaka, really isolated placements. Not all of them, but I think that is going to be what the majority of placements are this year, because I think ALTs who are choosing to leave this year, if the possibility of work in their home country in the middle of a pandemic is more appealing to them than living in Japan right now, then probably their position in Japan was not the best. Just my personal thoughts. I have no evidence for this. These are just my opinions, but yeah, something to think about. And not to mention that a lot of the 2020 successful applicants still have not come to Japan because the Rona keeps postponing it. So, you know, when are the 2021 applicants gonna come? Who's gonna get priority on the better placements? It's just all very messy right now. And so I think that if you didn't get through this year, maybe just think of it as a blessing in disguise, because you can reapply, and if you get on next year, hopefully next year, 2022, you know, late summer, early autumn time, when jets typically come, things will have calmed down, they'll have settled, more people will be leaving that have the city placements, there'll be better placements available. So, you know, this could all work out for you for the better in the long run. Anyway, here are some solid examples of ways that you can be gaining extra experience and really boosting your application for next year. If you can't speak it already, then start studying Japanese. It doesn't really matter how much you learn, but it's important to show an effort, whether that's self-study or taking an online or in-person class, whatever. Look into getting a TEFL teaching certificate online. That's TEFL. I didn't have that, and I don't think it's necessary to get onto the JET program, but you know, every little helps. You want as much as possible boosting your application because it's the overall impression that counts. Look for opportunities to get involved with cultural events in your own home country, your hometown. Ideally about Japan, but other countries are okay. It's more about cultural exchange than Japan specifically. You know, these could be online events, in-person events. Volunteer yourself to help in any way, whether it's just setting up an event, some manual labor stuff, or if you have some specific skill you can offer. For example, back in 2017 when I was applying, I volunteered to make a video for a Japan fair that was happening in Glasgow. What skills can you offer? What events can you get involved with? Anything is okay. Because in the application, you can twist the smallest experiences into really big deals. Can you sign up online anywhere to become like an online language exchange partner with someone in Japan? And then if you don't have any teaching experience, now you do. If not languages, can you get yourself involved with teaching in any other capacity, in any other topic? Anything is possible, even something casual. You don't need to be hired formally as a teacher. If you have experience teaching something that you can talk about, perfect. Don't worry about how legitimate it is or think, oh, does this count? Is this teaching experience? I'm not sure. If you can twist it into sounding like teaching experience, it's teaching experience. Even something as simple as teaching one of your friends a specific skill, you know, meeting once a week, and you can talk about how you saw them improve, different ways and methods in which you taught them. You don't need to look for jobs online. You can just make the opportunity for yourself. Think about who you can ask to check your application, your statement of purpose, who you can practice your interview skills with. Maybe last time you didn't ask the right people, maybe you didn't ask enough people, maybe you didn't ask enough of a variety of people. So think about more people, different people from last time that you can ask to help you out. I'll also point out now that I also offer to check your guys' applications, your statement of purposes. I will run mock interviews with you guys on video chat. I think I did about 7 or 8 of them this year that went really well. I got some great feedback from it, and some of those people have already messaged me now to say they were successful this year. So if you're interested in that, you can check out my Patreon page, which will be linked below. I'm not trying to push this on you. In fact, I wouldn't even recommend it if you have a good range of people you know personally who will do it. I'm just putting the option out there. You can also show this year's rejected application to people and see if they can help you figure out where you might have gone wrong, where your weaknesses are, what's missing, just so you really know what to focus on with the next application. If JET was all you applied for before, then think about what else you can apply for this year on top of JET. What other programs bring you to Japan? Does it specifically have to be Japan, or are you interested in teaching English in other countries too? I know that JET has a reputation for being one of the better programs, and I would agree that it is, but you You know, there's just ultimately not enough places for everyone who wants to come, and you don't want to spend now 2 years working on applications just to be rejected again. That disappointment's gonna suck, especially if you have no safety net, no plan B. So think about alternatives too. There are other ways to come to Japan or to go abroad to teach English in a foreign country, and just don't put all of your eggs in one basket. So yeah, lots you can be doing to improve your chances next year. I hope this video made you feel a bit better about your current situation. If it did, I would really appreciate it if you clicked that like button. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to comment them below, and I'll be back next week with another video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.